Greetings for the day, and I welcome all of you to this Ethnus Guidance Program for TCS NQT 2021. Before we get started, if you are able to hear me as well as if you are able to view my screen, quickly post VCSC in the chat section, which means voice clear and screen clear. Please, great. And I firmly believe that your preparation is on track for the TCS NQT 2021. So we Ethnus have decided to give you a comprehensive training program for almost 1 month before you actually appear for your NQT examination. So this training program will cover the most frequently asked questions and the question formats. And we will also share the mock test series on our platforms, and you can get the benefit of that. And this particular guidance program will also cover the review of all those mock test series as well. So this is a comprehensive training program Ethnus is giving you if you are an aspirant of TCS NQT 2021. And if you have not registered yourself for the examination, then 20th April is the last date, and link for registration is available in the chat section. You can make use of that link and register yourself for the examination. So I hope everyone who is there on this line has already registered yourself. A little bit about the company. We Ethnus are 14 years young organization in the domain of training and development, and we have been helping students to realize their dreams for the past 14 years. So we are actually helping students to get their first ever job through on-campus drive as well as off-campus drive. Not only that, apart from the conventional aptitude training and the life skill training, we are also authorized partners of AWS in providing cloud computing and other architecture related courses. So we have so many successful students of ours who have got placed in leading companies, leading IT sectors with a minimum salary of 4.8 lakhs per annum. So I hope you people will get the benefit of such kind of courses also, and if you're really interested, definitely we are there to help you. Right, and a little bit about the host. My name is Chetan Kumar, and I have 6 years of experience in training and development, and I have trained more than 20,000 students in leading universities in the country like IIT, NIT and VIT. So I will be engaging you all in the quantitative aptitude domain today for the next 1 hour. And if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, this is the right time for all of you to join the Telegram channel. And the benefit of joining our Telegram channel is that quizzes related to all this mass recruiters company will be posted on the regular basis on our Telegram channel. So if you join this channel, definitely you will be updated every time when we post new quizzes. And also schedules of the upcoming free webinars and other leading technologies related webinar will be posted on the Telegram channel, and if you are a member of Telegram channel, you will not miss any of the updates. So link for joining Telegram channel will be available in the live chat. Click the link and join our Telegram channel. So without further ado, we will quickly get started with the session. So today's session will be mainly on most frequently asked questions and question formats of TCS NQT, and this particular question especially from the concept of percentage. And I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute of time to solve this particular problem, and let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Let me monitor the chat section closely, and the moment when you get the answer, you can quickly post it in the chat. A mother, her little daughter and her just born infant boy together stood on a weighing machine which shows 74 kg. How much does the daughter weigh if the mother weighs 46 kg more than the combined weight of daughter and the infant and the infant weighs 60% less than the daughter. Now you just need to find out what is the weight of the daughter. I hope everybody got the question clearly, and timer is running, and I'm curious to see who is the first one to answer this question effectively. See, you have to be good at percentage concept in order to solve this kind of concepts easily. Great, your time is up and I don't see anybody responding in the chat. Probably you will understand everything after I explain this particular problem to you. So please pay attention to the explanation. See, here you are asked to find out the weight of the daughter, right? So whenever you don't know something in quantitative aptitude problem, it is ideal to take that particular parameter as x. So if I take the daughter's weight, okay, if I take the daughter's weight as x be the daughter's weight. Now quickly, can anybody tell me what is the weight of the newly born baby or this infant boy? And in the question it has been given that infant weighs 60% less than the daughter. That means if daughter is x, then the person will be 60% less than x. So that will actually give me the answer as 0.4 times of x, because if 60% less means he will definitely weigh 40% of the remaining weight, yes or no? So that means the infant boy's weight is 0.4 times of x. So these are the initial two steps, and now the next portion should be the calculation of the sum of their weight. For example, 3 people stood on the weighing machine, right? And daughter's weight is x and infant's weight is 0.4x. And now this actually gives me the daughter's weight and this actually gives me the infant boy's weight. And now what is mother's weight? It has already been given that if mother weighs 46 kgs more than the combined weight of daughter and infant, that means mother's weight will be 46 kg more than the combined weight, that is x plus 0.4x. Now if I write the mother's weight, then it will be x plus 0.4 times of x plus 46 kg. Now if I add all of these three, if I add daughter's weight, infant's weight and mother's weight, how much should I get? I should definitely get 74 kg. So this should be equal to 74 kg. Now just calculate it. X plus x will give you 2x plus 0.4x plus 0.4x will give you 0.8x, and you have plus 46 here. Plus 46 will be equal to 74. And overall you get 2.8x is equal to 74 minus 46. How much is 74 minus 46? It is 28, right? 28. And this gives me 2.8 times of x is equal to 28. That implies x is equal to 10 years. And what you are asked to calculate? You are asked to calculate what is daughter's weight, right? And daughter's weight we have assumed it to be x. And what is the value of x got? X that we got? It is 10. So your answer should be option B. So if you don't understand this particular concept, then solving the problem becomes a little difficult. That's why basic concept of percentage should be learned properly. And if you have understood this particular problem, quickly type a clear CLR in the chat section and I will take you through the next question. Nishant has come up with an answer for this particular problem, but unfortunately it is not the right one. Abhima, you tried initially and you said 40 as the answer, and now finally you have changed your answer to 10, which is the right answer. So the right answer for this particular problem is 10. So I believe everybody has got a fair idea on this particular problem, and I'm gonna move to the next question. Okay, the next question for all of you is over here, and this is the explanation of the previous problem, and if you want to take the screenshot of this one, you can take quickly. Right. Now this is a problem on data interpretation. Okay, and I'm going to provide 1 minute of time again to solve this particular problem, and the moment when you finish getting the answer, you have to post it in the chat section. Okay, so this is an extended version of the same percentage concept, but the data is provided in terms of a table. And now let me check who is the first one to answer this particular problem. Thank you Mr. Anand and Abhima for confirming that the previous problem is clear. Now the next question is ready for you. Study the following table and answer the question. So you have to study the table before you answer the question. The question is, increase in the total number of employees in 2000 considering all the departments together is what percentage of the total number of employees put together in 1999 is the question. So that means how much is the increment in terms of percentage in the year 2000 considering all the departments together with respect to total number of employees in the year 1999. It's very simple. Take the difference between number of employees in the year 2000 and 1999. Okay, take the difference between number of employees in the year 2000 and 1999, and then take the 1999 total number of employees as a reference and then multiply it with 100. Okay, so I wrote 2000, 1999 and all these things, but they are not necessarily these typical numbers, but the number of employees in the respective years. And let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Nobody has answered. Anyway, your time is up and I will explain how to solve this problem. But before that, we will solve this particular problem one by one. So the first ever thing that you need to do is tell me what is the total number of employees in the year 1999. You just need to type the total number of employees. That is sum of the employees in 1999. You can see 150, 25, 50, 45 and 75. What is the sum? Quickly, be the quickest to answer this question in the chat. So I hope everybody is great at addition, and you can solve this kind of problem in a simple way, that is hundreds place calculation separately, tens place calculation separately and units place calculation separately. For example, only one number which is actually having 100 place, which is 100. So initially I will take this as 100 and then no other terms are there. Now I'll go to the 50, let's say the tens places. In the first case you have 50, here you have 20, 70. 70 plus 50 is 120, 120 plus 40 is 160, 160 plus 70 is 230. So 50s, let's say the tens added together is producing me a 230. Now go to the units place. What are the units place? You have 5, 5, 5. Total 15 is there. So what is the total count? Total count is 330 and 345. So total number of employees in the year 1999 is 345. So that you got in the denominator. And now you have to also get the total number of employees in the year 2000, right? How many people are there in 2000? 200 is already there. 200, and then take the tens place. 20 plus 40 is 60, 100, 160 and 230, and then the units place. 5 plus 5 plus 2, you get 12 overall. So what is the total amount you're getting over here? The total amount you got is 430 and 442. You get 442. Total count is 442 in the year 2000, and in the year 1999 total number of employees were 345. Now take the difference between these two in the numerator, because they are just asking that only, right? Increase in the total number of employees in the year 2000 in terms of percentage. So definitely you have to take the difference between these two. What is the difference between 345 and 442? 97 is the difference, right? And into 100 is what you need to do. Now quickly tell me how many of you have got your answer till here, because you don't need anybody's assistance until you reach this point, and a trainer's assistance is required only after this particular point, because calculation is huge. Our calculation is not friendly here. Now tell me how many of you have reached till here. Quickly type a me in the chat if you have reached till here. Very good. Thank you so much for confirming. And hereafter, don't go by simplification aspect. because in data interpretation most of the time it is enough if you just go by approximation. Okay, now how to calculate this one? Now basically what you need to do is you just need to find out out of 345 how much percentage is this 97. This is what you need to calculate, right? You tell me what is 10 percentage of 345. What is 10 percentage? 10 percentage can be easily calculated by shifting one decimal point from right to left. So here in 345, if I shift one decimal point from right is 103. Then what would be your right answer? Only one answer choice which is less than 30 percentage is option C, that is 29 percentage. Without even going with your conventional calculation, that is by simplification portion, I have calculated the answer just by approximation. What is the only thing required? Yeah, how to calculate 10 percentage of a value and then approximating it to 30 percentage. That's it. Since the value should be lesser than 30 percentage, only one answer choice is available, which is option C. And that's the right answer for this problem. And if you're really impressed with the shortcut technique that I recommended for data interpretation problem, quickly type a cool in the chat. So I hope this particular approximation technique will be helpful in majority of the problems in data interpretation. And data interpretation problems can be either in the table format, or it can also be in the bar graph, or it can also be line graph, or it can also be in the pie chart format. Nevertheless, basic concept used in data interpretation will be your observation. You have to be good at observation, and the next concept is percentage. And the third important concept required to solve the problems on data interpretation is averages concept, and we will discuss those concepts in the upcoming slides. So I hope it is clear for you. Important topics for TCS NQT 2021. And if you're extremely comfortable the allegation technique, you will tell me the answer for this particular problem in less than 10 seconds. You don't need more than 10 seconds to answer this kind of a problem. Now let me check who is the first one to answer this particular problem. Great, a lot of people have said that the previous strategy that I explained was useful. That's really great. And now the next problem is already available for you. Quickly let me know the answer in the chat. It's a problem on allegation method, and you should know what exactly is allegation method. Okay, what does it mean? It means that in order to solve a problem on mixtures means whenever you add two ingredients of the similar kind or a different kind, you will form a new mixture, right? Probably of the same kind or of the different kind. For example, if you add water and milk, these two are two different entities, and if you mix these two in certain ratio, ultimately you're going to get a mixture, right? But that mixture will be milk only, right? So similarly, some other aspects are also there. Let's say rice 1 is there, it's the first variety of rice, and R2 is there, which is the second variety of rice. And if you mix these two, you're going to get a third variety of rice, right? Which is a combination of both R1 and R2. In this case, both of the ingredients are of the similar kind, and you will get again a rice quantity only, right? But here two different ingredients were mixed, and finally you got a resultant mixture. And especially whenever two ingredients are mixed together and to form a third ingredient, in such cases allegation technique will be useful. So you should understand when you have to go for allegation technique. Allegation technique is useful whenever two quantities are mixed up totally to produce a third quantity. In such cases, allegation technique will be useful. And then what is allegation technique? You should understand. See, it's very simple. Minimum value, whatever is there in the question, has to be taken on the left side. Maximum value has to be taken on the right side, and mean value should be taken in the middle. Mean does not necessarily mean it is the average of two numbers. No, I did not say that. Mean value means, let's say if the first mixture, or let's say first ingredient concentration is 50% and the second ingredient's concentration is 75%, and these two are mixed in equal proportion, means then average of these two can be taken. But if they are mixed in a different proportion, for example 2:5 ratio, then you cannot directly take the mean of these two values. That means average cannot be taken. And what is the meaning of this one is, after you mix these two liquids of 50% concentration and 75% concentration in the ratio 2:5, the resultant mixture, whatever you're going to get, that will always be having the concentration between 50% and 75% for sure. It can never be lesser than 50% and it can never be more than 75%. That is for sure. And that mean value is taken in the middle. I hope you got a fair idea. And now the next step is maximum minus mean value. Whatever you have, directly take it on the bottom left corner, and mean minus minimum value should be taken on the bottom right corner. Right? So if you do this kind of a process, then this is called alligation technique. Every time whenever two quantities are mixed up to produce the third quantity is there, you can go by this approach. This will give you the answer instantly. Now I would like all of you to tell me what is the minimum concentration that you get in the question. And here one more aspect I forgot to mention is, whatever you get here, max minus minimum and mean minus minimum, this will always produce the ratio in which two items are there. For example, if the question is rupees per kg, if the question has rupees per kg, then directly this will give you the ratio of quantities. And the same applies for, let's say, rupees per liter also. In that case, ratio in which two items are mixed. And this is applicable for other problems of alligations and mixture. That is considered to be the application level of alligation and mixture. But the basic concept is this one, where whatever you get on the bottom line will always produce the ratio in which two items are mixed. Okay. Now the minimum value that you see in the question is 90% concentration and 75% concentration, right? Which one is minimum? 75 is minimum. So I will take it on the left side. And the maximum value that you can see is 90%. I will take it on the right side. Mean value, that means after you mix these two, you are going to get a concentration of 78, right? So I'm taking it in the middle. And then next step is maximum minus mean value, that is 90 minus 78. What is 90 minus 78? It is 12, right? And then mean minus minimum, this is mean value, mean minus minimum will give you a 3. Now if you simplify this, you're gonna get 1:4. This will give you 1:4. And I told you already, right? This bottom line will always produce the ratio in which two items are mixed. So 90% concentrated acid, if it is taken in one portion, then 75% concentrated solution is taken in 4 quantity. So overall, how much is this? Overall you get 5 liter. If you directly go by assumption, you are having only 5 liter. But how much you need? You need a total of 30 liter solution. After you mix these two, you should get 30 liter, right? But here, as of now, you got only 5 liter. Now tell me, how will you convert your 5 liter into 30 liter? Because 5 liter is your assumption and in reality you need 30 liter. How will you convert? You will multiply your 5 by 6, right? Then only you will get 30 liter as your answer. So that means if these two are in ratio and if the sum is multiplied by 6 in order to get the reality, then in order to get the real quantity of these items, you should again multiply the values by the same value 6. So now the question is how many liters of 90% solution? It's not actually 1 liter. You should multiply this by 6 and you have to write your answer as 6 liters of 90% concentrated solution should be mixed with 24 liters, because 4 into 6, 24 liters of 75% pure concentrated acid in order to produce a 30 liter solution of concentration 78%. I hope you got a fair idea on this. And if you have understood this problem, quickly tell me a CLR in the chat section. And please make a note of this particular table. Highly important: minimum value, maximum value, and then mean value. Then on the bottom left you get maximum minus mean, and on the right bottom you will get mean minus minimum. So I would like to get maximum numbers of clear. Right, thank you so much for confirming, and I'm going to give you the next question. Okay, the next question is ready for you, and look at here. This is also one of the important questions from mixtures and alligation. You can just mark this as a star question. Mark this as a star question, most likely to be coming in the upcoming examination. A container contains 40 liters of milk. From this container, 4 liters of milk was taken out and replaced by water. And this process was repeated further 2 times. Now tell me how much milk is now contained by the container. That means after you remove 4 liters in every iteration, what is the quantity of milk available in the container now? That is currently is the question. So I hope you got a fair idea on the question. Now if you really understood, you should tell me the answer instantly for this particular problem. Let me quickly look at the chat section, and once the 1 minute time is over, I will immediately go to the explanation part, because if you did not really understand, this video will be available in the future as well on our official YouTube channel. You can take a reference of how many ever times you want. Right. So now these kind of problems typically solved with the help of a formula. And what formula? It's very simple if you know the concept of compound interest and amount formula. What is the amount in compound interest? Amount in compound interest will always be principal amount multiplied by 1 plus r divided by 100 and whole power n, right? So this is what the formula for amount after n number of years in compound interest, right? Here also in every iteration the same quantity of mixture is replaced by water, right? So that means rate remains the same, but every time whenever you remove certain portion, the original quantity reduces, and you'll have to take that quantity as the initial value after every iteration. Okay, so now the same formula if I can write for compound, this is compound growth. Okay, this is the formula for compound growth. Right, now I would like to write a formula for compound depreciation. Okay, this is the formula for compound depreciation, because here the quantity is reducing compound on compound basis, right? So that means I will take final value, that means you need final value right now, right? How much liters of milk is presently available, that means final value. So in order to calculate that, you need initial value into 1 minus rate of interest. Now tell me, you can go by the same formula, or in order to avoid confusion, I'm taking portion replaced in each iteration. Okay, I will write PR. PR means portion of mixture replaced in each iteration divided by initial value, whole power n. Whole power n means number of iterations, where n is the iterations, how many times the same process is done. I is the initial value, and PR means portion removed in each iteration, right? So F means it is the final value. Now if you substitute every value that you already know, you will get the answer, right? Tell me, what are the values you already know? The values that you already know is the initial value, which is 40, into 1 minus portion removed in each iteration is 4 liters, right? 4 divided by initial quantity is 40 again. And how many times the same process is repeated? Initially you have done once. That means from this container 4 liters of milk was taken out and replaced by water. One time happened. And then this process was repeated further 2 times. So overall how many times you have done it? 3 times. So I'm taking 3 in the power. So now hereafter everything is a simplification portion. So I will erase this portion now for my calculation convenience. Okay, right. Now hereafter everything is simplification. How will you simplify further? 1 minus 4 divided by 40 can be taken as 4 ones are 4 tens are, right? So that means you will get 40 into 1 minus 1 by 10 will give you 9 by 10. and 9 by 10 is actually inside the bracket and it should be written 3 times. So that means you will get 9 by 10, 9 by 10 and 9 by 10. Okay, and now simplification portion says that 0 and 0 will be cancelled out. 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, 2 1s are and 2 5s are. Overall you get 9 cube, which is 729 divided by 25, because 5 into 5 it is. Now you can go by simplification here itself, or else I will do with one more calculation here. I will multiply the denominator by 4 because I will get divided by 100. That is easy for me. So if I multiply the denominator by 4, I'll have to multiply the numerator also by 4, right? What is 730 into 4? You don't consider 729, consider 730. 730 into 4 will give me 2800, 2920, 2920. This is 730 into 4, but it was only 729 into 4, right? So you'll have to subtract 4 from this. You will get 2916 divided by how much is there? 100 is there. Divided by 100 means you will have to shift 2 decimal point, right? Your answer is 29.16. And if you have understood this problem, quickly tell me a clear in the chat section so that we can proceed with the next type of problem. So very important problem, and I have already asked you to mark it as a star question. Highly important. Right, so I'm going to show you the next question now. It's already available. A very simple problem, but still this was once asked in TCS recruitment. Let me check who is the first one to answer this. Right, so your time is gonna end now. There are 60 pebbles and 2 persons, A and B. A takes 1 pebble, B takes 2 pebbles, and again A takes 3 pebbles and B takes 4 pebbles, and this goes on alternatively. Now the question is, who takes the maximum number of pebbles? Now to answer this question, it's very simple. Total how many pebbles you have? Total number of pebbles you have is 60. And then you got to know that A takes how much? A takes initially 1, then B takes 2, and then again A takes 3 and B takes 4, and A takes 5, B takes 6, and he takes 7, he takes 8, he takes 9, and he takes 10. Now just look at the values after 10 trials. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 available now. So question is, who takes the maximum number of pebbles, right? So A also has 30, B also has 30. So answer will be A will not be the answer, B will also. We cannot say who has more, but cannot be computed is incorrect. Okay, both of them are having the same count of pebbles. So that's why your answer should be option C. Both will be having equal number of pebbles. It was such a simple problem, and it's a pattern based question, and you'll have to prepare yourself for pattern based question as well. So I hope it is clear for everybody, and I'm going to the next problem, and let me check who answers this question accurately. And this question is from the concept of ratios and proportion, and these are all the primary concepts that you need to be knowing before you appear for your upcoming TCS NQT. Timer is running. Be the quickest to answer this kind of problem again. A highly important problem from ratios and proportion concept, and you can be prepared for these kind of problems also. Very important. A bag contains 50 paisa and 25 paisa and 10 paisa coins in the ratio 5:9:4, amounting to rupees 206. That means coins ratios are given 5:9:4, and these are contributed by only 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa coins, and the total amount in the bag is 206. Now the number of coins of each type is what asked, and how will you solve this problem is very important. Now let me just get into the explanation now. Just look at here. The first one is number of coins. You get 5:9:4. So that means first is contributed by 50 paise coins, second one is contributed by 25 paise coins, and the third one is contributed by 10 paise coins. These are all the values. And now you tell me, if there are 5 50 paise coins, what is the total amount in terms of paisa? What is the total amount in terms of paisa? 50 into 5, right, which is 250 paisa. This is the total amount in terms of paisa. Then 25 paisa, how many coins are there? 9 coins are there. So 25 into 9 will give you 225 paisa as the total amount, right? And then 10 paisa, how many coins are there? 4 coins are there. So total you get 40 paisa. And now this will give you the amount ratio. This is the amount ratio. Amount ratio in rupees. And why do I say that? Because if the values are something like 100:300:400, these are all, even though they are paisa values, if you simplify this, you're going to get 1:3:4, right? Now this 1:3:4 is the rupees ratio. It is a rupees ratio, and that's why after I simplify my paisa ratios, I will definitely get the ratios in rupees. So how will I simplify? Definitely I know that these values will be divisible by 5. So if I divide it, I'm going to get 50. 5 50s are 250. 5 45s are 225, and 5 8s are this value. Now this will give me the ratio of rupees contributed by 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa respectively. But if I add all of this, how much I'm getting? I'm getting 103 rupees in total. If I add these three, I'm going to get only 103 rupees. But in reality, how much your value should be? After adding these three values, you should get 206 rupees, right? But you have only 103. That means your assumption is wrong and reality is 206. And now tell me, how will you convert your assumption into reality? You will multiply this value by 2, right? Similarly, rest of the values, whichever was there in the ratio, they should also be multiplied by the same number, 2. So that means amount contributed by 50 paisa is not 50 rupees, but it is 50 into 2, that is 100 rupees. So 50 paisa coins, amount contributed is 100 rupees. For 25 paisa coins, amount contributed is 45 into 2, which is 90 rupees. And for 10 paisa coins, amount contributed is not 88 rupees, but it is 16 rupees. But now if you add all of this, you will get 206 rupees. But that is not being asked in the question. What is the question? Find the number of coins of each type. Now, how will you identify this? Very simple. Look at the last value, 10 paisa, using which you can get the answer instantly. How? In 1 rupee, how many 10 paisa coins will be there? 10 paisa coins will be there. 10 paisa coins. But how much amount you have? 16 rupees. Now tell me, how much 10 paisa coins will be there in 16 rupees? 16 into 10, which is 160. And 10 paisa coins is actually the last in the series, right? So definitely your answer will be 160. Option C is the right one. You can also go with other options also. Let's say in 1 rupee, how many 50 paisa coins will be there? 250 paisa coins will be there. And in 100 rupees, how many coins will be there? 100 into 2, 200. You can even go by 25 paisa coins. You will get the answer. But what is the process? Coins ratio. From the coins ratio, your calculation should begin, and that coins ratio should be multiplied with the denomination to get the amount ratio in rupees. So 5 50 paise coins means 250 paisa is done. 25 paise coins, 9 in count, will give you 225 paisa, and 10 paisa coins, 4 in count, will give you 40 paisa. But if you simplify the paisa ratio, you will definitely get the ratio of rupees. So I simplified this with the table of 5, and then I got 50 rupees, 45 rupees and 8 rupees contributed by these denominations. But if I add these three, I'm going to get only 103, which is wrong, because after adding these three I should get 206. How will I make my assumption equal to reality? You will have to multiply this by 2. If this value is multiplied by 2, since these values are in ratio, they should also be multiplied by 2. So I got respectively 100, 90 and 16 as the answer. So that means how many 50 paise, 25 paise and 10 paise coins are available? You need to find out. Your answer will be 200, 360 and 160. So if you have got a fair idea on this particular problem, quickly tell me a clear in the chat, and I'm going to take you through the next problem. The next problem is available for you, and it's a problem on average. And let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Timer is running, and let me check who is the first one to answer. Great. So I think time is up, and now we will go on to the explanation problem. Visitors to show were charged rupees 15 on the first day. That means first day the charge amount was rupees 15, and the second day the amount was 7.5, and on the third day it was rupees 2.5. And the total number of attendants on 3 days were 2:5:13. Now the question is, the average charge per person for the whole show is how much? Now you don't know how many people were there in total, because it is just the ratio that they gave. And then the charge for each show on the first day, second day and third day is given over here. Now what initially we do is, we'll take the total number of attendance on 3 days, B, first is to second is to third. Total number of attendance, we shall take it as 2x is to 5x is to 13x. So let this be the total number of people who attended the show, right? 2x, 5x and 13x. This is the total number of people. And then first day, how much collection was done? 15 rupees per person, right? So second day 7.5 rupees per person, and on the third day it is 2.5 per person. Now tell me, what is the total amount collected during the show? First day 2x number of people are there, and each one paid 15 rupees. So total number of amount collected is 15 into 2x, which is 30 times x. This is the total number of, or total amount collected on the first day by 2x number of people, plus amount collected on the second day by 5x people is 7.5 into 5 will give you 37.5 times x, plus 2.5 into 13 will give you 32.5x. So this is the total amount collected in the first 3 days respectively by these many people. Now if I divide this into the people, total number of people available. So the first day 2x number of people were there, second day 5x number of people were there, and third day 13x number of people were there. And this is gonna provide me the required average, because average charge per person is total collection divided by total number of people, right? Total number of people. And now if you look at here, total number of people I have considered as 2x on the first day, 5x on the second day, and 13x on the third day. And amount collected is 15 rupees per person. So total 15 into 2, 30x is the first day's collection, 37.5x is the second day's collection, and 32.5 is the third day's collection. So total collection divided by total number of people will give you the answer. So 37.5 and 32.5 will totally give you 30 plus 30 is 60, 7.5 and 2.5 will give you 10, total 70, 70 plus 30 will give you 100. So you get 100x divided by 13 plus 2 is 15, 15 plus 5 is 20, so 20x. 100x divided by 20x will give you a 5 as the answer. Total what is the average charge per person for the whole show considering all the 3 days? It is 5 rupees per person. That's it, done. Your answer is option C. I hope you got a fair idea on this particular problem, and I'll take you through the next section or next problem, and let me check who is the first one to answer this. And this question is from the concept of time, speed and distance. So I can see multiple people responding for the previous question also. That's really cool. Thank you so much for responding. Great. So two cars start from A and B, travel towards each other at a speed of 50 km per hour and 60 km per hour. At the end, at the time of their meeting, the second car has traveled 120 km more than the first. Now tell me the distance between A and B. What would be the distance between A and B is the question. Your time is gonna end, and let me check who has answered this question already. I don't think anybody answered this question. Okay, we will move on to the concept now. This is a concept of relative speed. Okay, the concept that has been used over here is the relative speed concept, and relative speed can be used in two ways. One is bodies are moving in the same direction, and the objects are moving in the opposite direction. These two are the things that you need to consider. And if the bodies are moving in the same direction with the speed of s1 and s2, then their relative speed will always be equal to, that implies relative speed will always be equal to s1 minus s2. If two bodies are moving in the same direction with the speed of s1 and s2 starting from the same point, then relative speed will become s1 minus s2. And in the opposite case, that is, if two bodies are moving with the speed of s1 and s2 km per hour in the opposite direction from the same point, then relative speed will become sum of their speed, s1 plus s2. But in this case, what's happening? Two travels are traveling towards each other. Towards each other means opposite direction. That you need to understand. So now, first thing that you need to notice is 2 points are there. Point A is here, point B is over here. Let's say these are the 2 points. Okay, and now the first one moves at a speed of 50 km per hour, and the second car is 60 km per hour, right? So the first car is 50 kmph and it is moving in this direction. Second car is moving in the opposite direction with a speed of 60 km per hour. Now you tell me, after 1 hour, what is the difference in the distance traveled by these two cars? X, or let's say the first car will cover 50 km, right? This will cover 50 km in 1 hour, and the second car will cover 60 km in 1 hour. That means after 1 hour, the difference in the distance traveled by car 1 and car 2 is 10 km only. So that means in 1 hour, the difference in the distance traveled by two cars is 10 km. And now difference in the distance traveled by the two cars is 120 kilometer, because they are saying car 2 has traveled 120 kilometers more than car 1. So that means, tell me, in 1 hour the difference in the distance traveled is 10 kilometer. In order to be the distance of separation as 120 kilometer, or let's say in order to get the total number of difference in the distance traveled as 120 kilometer, how many hours the car should be traveling? This means 1 hour 10 kilometer is the distance difference in the distance covered. That means if the car 1 covers 50 kilometer, then the car 2 covers 60 kilometer, and the difference in the distance traveled is 10 kilometer, and in 2 hours this difference will become 20 kilometer. And if this goes like this, in order to get 120 kilometer as a difference, how much time both the cars should be in motion? Your answer will be 12 hours. So that means for 12 continuous hours both the cars were in motion. Now how will you find out the total distance? Very simple. So in this case the total distance can be calculated as both the bodies have started from the same point. And for 12 consecutive hours they were in motion and they met exactly after 12 hours. So that means if first car covers 50 kilometer, second car covers 60 kilometer in 1 hour, so overall how much difference they have reduced between them? If actually x is the difference between them, in 1 hour they have reduced 110 kilometer of distance, and that's what relative speed is. So relative speed is S1 plus S2 in this case, because both of them are moving in the opposite direction, right? So overall 110 kilometer has been reduced in 1 hour. So 12 hours they were in kind of a motion, right? So that means 110 kilometer in 1 hour. So in 12 such hours, how many kilometers have been reduced? And that's the total distance between those two cities. So 12 into 11 will give you 132 and 10 as it is. Your answer is 1320. So if you have understood this problem, quickly tell me a clear in the chat section, and I am going to take you through the next set of problem. So I hope it is clear for everybody. And the next question is ready for you. Look at here, a very simple problem. Let me check who is the first one to answer this question. Parallelly, I will check the chat section also. Very good. Arvind has said the answer, and Arvind also acknowledged that he has got the idea on this particular problem. Very good. Thank you so much for confirming. And now the next question is ready. And most of the people waste their time going with the theoretical aspect, but these kind of problems can easily be solved with the help of answer choices. The question is 43 times of a 2-digit value is 34 times of the reverse of the same number. Then find out what is that 2-digit number. That means if 43 times of a 2-digit number is 34 times of the reverse of the same number, so these two values are equal, right? Then what should be that value? Now check for 58. And if you check 58 and here it will become 85. Reverse of that number will become 85, right? Now you can say this answer is absolutely wrong, because 8 into 3 last digit will be 4. 8 3s are 24, last digit is 4. And in this case 5 into 4 last digit will be 0. How can you say that these two are equal if the last digit is not matching? You cannot say that. So option A is eliminated. Similarly, check for the second case. 43 into 53 will be equal to 34 into 35. Is it right or not? Absolutely wrong, because again 5 into 4 will give you 0 in the units place. 3 into 3 will give you 9 in the units place. This is also absolutely wrong. This is gone. And 55 will anyway be wrong, because you get 43 into 55 is equal to 34 into 55. See, 55 is equal, right? 55 is equal in both the values. And then how can you say that 43 and 34 are equal? No, you cannot say that. These two values will not be the same. Only one answer is remaining, which is option D. That's it. And you can also cross verify whether your answer is right or not. 43 into 68 will be equal to 34 into how much? 34 into 80. 86. Why? 68's reverse is 86. And now you can just check. 43, half of this value or double of this value is written here. In that case, 68 should be made half, right? And half of that value is 34. Then these two values should definitely be the same. So that's how you solve the problem with the help of answer choices. And in TCS NQT, these kind of questions will also be asked, and you'll have to be prepared for these kind of questions as well. And having believed that you have understood this particular problem, I'm moving to the next question. The next question is over here, and this is from the concept of profit and loss, and you should definitely have an idea on profit and loss concept as well. It's a very typical problem from profit and loss concept. The cost price of 20 articles is same as the selling price of X articles. Okay. Okay, so Abhima said 68 as the answer for the previous question. Very good. Okay, then Arvind admitted that he has understood the question in a wrong way. That's why he ended up giving me the wrong answer. Anyway, that's not a problem. As long as you understood the explanation, you're good to go with any sort of problem. Now this question is ready. The cost price of 20 articles is same as the selling price of X articles. If the profit is 25%, then value of X is. See, in this kind of problem, you should always keep one thing in mind. Let me just write one question for you. Suppose the question is the cost price of 21 articles is equal to selling price of 18 articles. For example, I'm giving you this question. If the cost price of 21 articles is equal to selling price of 18 articles, find the percentage profit or loss. Find the percentage profit or loss. This is one type of a question, and it's a direct question. And in this case, how will you solve the problem? This is very important, right? And in such cases, what you need to do is, there is a shortcut technique every time. That shortcut technique is assuming the cost price of one article as 1 rupee. So cost price of one article as 1 rupee means, then cost price of 21 article will become 21 rupees. Cost price of 21 article will become 21 rupees. Now in order to find out percentage profit or loss, the minimum value that you have is 18 articles, right? Because you know the cost price of 18 articles already. What is cost price of 18 articles? It is 18 rupees. And you know the selling price of 18 articles also. How much is selling price of 18 articles? Selling price of 18 articles is equal to cost price of 21 articles, right? So selling price of 18 articles is equal to cost price of 21 articles, and we know the value of 21 articles, which is 21 rupees. Now from this, what you got to know? You got to know the cost price of 18 articles, and you got to know the selling price of 18 articles as well. So from this, how will you calculate the profit percentage? Definitely the selling price is more compared to cost price, right? It's a profitable transaction. And how much is the profit? Difference is 3, and always profit and losses are calculated with respect to the cost price, right? Divided by 18 into 100. So 1s are 6 are 100 by 6 will give you 16.67% as the profit. And now if you really did not understand the way I explained this one, it's okay, but you just observe this particular format. Just observe this format. And how did you get 3 over here? It's very simple. Take the difference between the values whichever is given in the question. Take the difference between the value whichever is given in the question. So 21 minus 18, I got the value as 3. And then the value corresponding to the selling price. So that means whatever value is associated with the selling price of the item, just take that in the denominator. So here you have 18. So 3 by 18 will give you 1 by 6. 1 by 6 means it is 16.67% straight away. And now in this problem, what you need to do is, you don't know what is the cost price of 20 articles is equal to selling price of X articles. And I told you what is the basic stuff you need to do. You need to do the cost price of one article as 1 rupee, right? So the cost price of 20 article will become how much? It is directly 20 rupees. Cost price of 20 article will become 20 rupees. And selling price of X articles will become 20 rupees now. Selling price of X articles will become 20 rupees. Because I assume the cost price of one article as 1 rupee. So selling price of X articles will become 20 rupees. Now tell me, what would be the cost price of X articles? If the cost price of one article is 1 rupee, cost price of X article will be X rupee. So this will become X rupee, and from this you already know what you have to do. Okay, so take the difference between these two values. Because it's a profitable transaction, you can do selling price minus cost price. So 20 minus X divided by, always you have to take the cost price. And now if you multiply this value with 100, how much you should get? You should definitely get a 25% profit. This will be equal to 25. That's it. You'll get the answer. How did I get this? Difference in the selling price and cost price should be taken in the numerator, and the cost price should be taken in the denominator, right? So that's why I've taken this one. Into 100 will give you the answer. So you get 20 minus X into 100 will be equal to 25X, and you get 20 and 2 zeros as it is, minus 100X will be equal to 25X, and finally you get 2000 will be equal to 125X. 2000 is equal to 125X. And now the next step of the answer is 2000X. X will be 2000 divided by 125. Now you can do this particular problem very simply. 25, okay, if you consider 25 8s are 200, and 25 80s are this value, right? But if you have 250 here, you will get only 8, right? 250 divided by, or 2000 divided by 250, you will get only 8 as the value. But here you have 125, so that means half of 250. If this is half of 250, the total answer should be double of that value, then it will give you 16. Or otherwise, what you can do is you can simplify this value with the help of a table of 25 now. 25 5s are 125, 25 8s are, and you will get 80 divided by 5. What is 80 divided by 5? 5 1s are 5, 3 comes here, and 5 6s are, and X value is 16. So what's the value of X? X value is 16. And if you have understood this problem, quickly tell me a clear in the chat, and I'm moving to the maybe the last problem from today's masterclass on quantitative aptitude, and let me check how many of you are able to answer these questions. So the question is, how many number plates can be formed or made if the number plates have 2 letters of the English alphabet followed by 2 digits 0 to 9, if the repetition of the digits and alphabets not allowed? So repetition is not allowed. So then what is the total number of number plates possible? So this is something related to permutation and combination. Okay, so many people have answered the previous question. The right answer is 16. Very good. Congratulations, all of you have given the right answer. And now this question is the last question from let's say today's masterclass, and let me check who is the first one to answer this question. A very beautiful question. And if you're not really good at multiplication, then you would take little bit of extra time. But if you are good at calculation, then you will tell me the answer in less than 30 seconds. Anyway, the timer is gonna end now. Done. So I will go with the explanation part. Total number plate should include 4 places. First 2 places will be occupied by the letters of the English alphabet, and the second 2 places should be occupied by the numbers from 0 to 9. Now tell me, how many letters are there in English alphabet? Total 26 letters are there. So out of that 26 letters, any one letter is possible in the first place. So first place can be filled in how many different ways? You can fill the first place in 26 different ways. But once you fill that particular value, the same value cannot be used one more time over here, since repetition is not allowed. So that means from this 26, one value is blacklisted since it is already used in the first place. So how many more values are eligible for the second place? So the second place can be filled with 25 different ways. So here is where we complete the letters of the alphabet. First two, starting two places will be occupied by letters of the alphabet. And then if you go to the numbers portion now, 0 to 9, total how many numbers are there? 0, and then 1 to 9. 1 to 9, definitely 9 digits are there, including a 0, total number of digits are 10. So this place can be filled with any one of those 10 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3 all the way till 9. Any one number is possible in this space. But if one number is already used from this 10, the same number cannot be used over here. That means one number has been blacklisted from this. So that gives me only 9 options or 9 availabilities for the second page, second space. So this will be a 9 here. So now if you multiply all these values, you will get the answer. How will you simply multiply this? Something like this. Look at here. 25 into 25, I know it is 625. But it is 25 into 26, right? One more time 25 has to be written. So you will get 650. So 650 into 10 into 9. Now do this one. 650 into 10 will give you a 6500, right? 6500. But the answer for this one, or let's say, don't consider this 0 also. You can consider that at the end. 65 into 9 will give you 650, right? And 65 into 9 has to be done. That means you have to subtract 65 from this. You will get only 585. So 585 for 65 into 9, and write one more 0 as it is, this 0, and then one more 0 is actually because of multiplication of 10. So your answer will be 58500. Where do you have this one? This one is there in option B. And let me check how many of you have answered this. Only Arvind has answered this question. That's really cool, Arvind, that you have come up with an answer. Congratulations. And that's about it. So I hope today's session was useful for every one of you. And now before I end up today's session, I would again insist all of you to join our Telegram channel, because you will get the maximum benefit of quizzes related to the Mass Recruiters company, especially for TCS NQT, and also you will get the upcoming training schedules, when exactly the free webinars will be given on our YouTube channel, and when exactly future technology related webinars will be conducted. Every time we will be posting it on our official Telegram channel. And if you have not joined, link will be available in the live chat. Click the link and join our Telegram channel immediately. And I would like to also tell you one more important thing over here regarding the schedule of the next particular training program. Right. So I hope today's session was useful for every one of you, and if you want to attend the future sessions as well, the next webinar on our official YouTube channel is scheduled on 5th of April, and this will be based on the technical requirement for TCS NQT. So it will be a technical session on 5th April at the same time. Okay, at the same time. And there is one more session scheduled at Wednesday, that is 7th April 2021, which is on reasoning aptitude, and one more session is scheduled on 9th, that is on verbal aptitude. So the next dates that you need to actually lock is 5, 7 and 9. Okay, so on 5th you have a technical webinar, on 7th you have a reasoning aptitude, and on 9th you will be having a verbal aptitude. Okay, so these are all the schedule, and at the same time we are going to start the mock test series from the next week. So we will be posting the links on mock test on our official Telegram channel, and you should definitely join our Telegram channel in order to get the benefit of this mock test. And we are also going to conduct our reviews for all those mock tests in the upcoming weeks. And if you have any confusion in the mock test questions, then you can get a fair idea on all those questions in the webinar that we are going to conduct on review. So don't miss any of these opportunities, and I am very much sure that your preparation for TCS NQT is on track and everyone is preparing with utmost sincerity. And I would like to wish you all the very best for your upcoming placement drives, especially TCS NQT, and have a wow and delightful career ahead. And if you have not joined our Telegram channel yet, I have told you what you have to do already. And similarly, this is our official YouTube channel, and this is where we will be conducting free webinars and company specific webinars, in fact. So you will be getting notification if you get subscription to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And this is our Facebook page, that is Facebook/Ethnus, and this is our Instagram page, that is Instagram/Codemithra. And here is where again we will post the interesting facts about training and placement and the future technology and all the other AWS related courses. Okay, what are all the certification courses we are offering to the students, and to get the maximum benefit, we also request you to join our official Facebook and Instagram pages. So thank you so much for joining the session, and thank you so much for being extremely good at the chat section. And we would like to meet you in the next session, and until then, it's bye bye from Chetan Kumar, and I wish you have a wonderful evening ahead and have a wow and delightful career. Bye bye.